All right. Good afternoon. Court's on the record, Commerce City Municipal Court for the afternoon session of May 13th of 2021. For the people that are appearing by Zoom, if you would please keep your devices muted, I will call your case and ask you to unmute when I'm ready to address your case. For the people that are in the courtroom, when I call your name, I'll need you to come forward to one of the three stations that's listed up there. I'll tell you which one to go to. While you're at that station, I need you to speak loudly and clearly. One of my responsibilities today is to make sure that everything that you say gets properly recorded. After you're done, I'll direct you to see my clerks in the lobby. Their windows are located to the left once you've exited through the double doors at the rear of the courtroom. When you leave the courtroom, you do need those to go out through those double doors, but you do not need to go out through the metal detector. Make the left before you get to the metal detector, and that'll get you to my clerk's windows. Okay, Robert Danon, if you would come to station number 1, please. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I have a document that indicates that if you plead guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, which is a 2-point violation, the city attorney will dismiss the original speeding charge, which happened on May 4th of 2021 at 2:30 in the afternoon in the area of Highway 85 at Mill Road. That's Highway 85 at approximately 64th where the railroad overpasses are here in Commerce City. Is this how you wish to resolve your case today, by pleading guilty to this reduced charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you take the opportunity to watch the advisement of rights video?
I did.
I need to go over some of those rights with you. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're waiving your right to be represented by an attorney in this case?
Yes, I do.
You're also waiving your right to be presumed innocent of the original charge unless and until the city attorney is able to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial, because by pleading guilty to this reduced charge, you're waiving your right to have a trial. Do you understand that?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, you're also, as a consequence, waiving your right to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that the city attorney would call in support of the original charge against you. You're giving up your right to present evidence on your own behalf, including calling witnesses on your own behalf. And if your witnesses would not appear in court voluntarily, to have the court issue subpoenas for you free of charge, which could then be used by you to have your witnesses ordered to appear on the date of your trial. You're giving up your rights during the course of a trial to testify or to remain silent. And if it was your choice to remain silent, the fact that you did so could not and would not be used against you to establish your guilt. If at the end of the trial you were found guilty of the original speeding charge, you would have the right to appeal that conviction to a higher court. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge today, you're giving up all of those trial and appeal related rights?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will?
No.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
I am not.
Then to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation on May 4th of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'll accept your guilty plea. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
No, Your Honor.
How long have you been driving in Colorado?
Since 2016.
Okay, this looks like it's your first moving violation in that time. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right, your scheduled fine was $120. In light of the plea bargain that you've entered and your good driving record, I'm going to reduce your fine to $60 plus surcharges and court costs. When you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerks, they're going to tell you what the total is, and if you need them to, they'll work out a payment plan for you. Do you have any questions?
I do not, Your Honor.
Okay, if you'll go to the clerks, my clerks will take care of you.
Thank you.
Okay, Navia Rossel, if you would come to station number 2, please, along with your parent. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Are you her father?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and your name?
Chris or Christopher Roselle.
I have a document that indicates, and is it pronounced Navia? Okay, that indicates that if Navia pleads guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a vehicle with a defective headlight, this is a 1-point violation, and attends the Alive at 25 class, the city attorney will dismiss the failure to yield charge, which occurred on April 3rd of 2021 at about 8:42 in the evening in the area of 104th and Highway 2 here in Commerce City. Navia, is this in fact how you wish to resolve your case? Okay, thank you. Mr. Rossell, do you understand what it is that your daughter is being offered? Do you understand the original charge that was filed against her?
I do.
And do you understand the reduced charge that she's pleading guilty to?
I do.
Do you agree that your daughter is acting in her best interest by accepting this resolution and pleading guilty to this reduced charge?
I do.
Thank you. Navia, did you watch the advisement of rights video? Do you understand? I'm going over some of those rights with you. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're renouncing your right to be represented by an attorney in this case? You're also waiving your right to be presumed innocent of the original charge unless and until the city attorney is able to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial, because by pleading guilty to this reduced charge, you're waiving your right to have a trial. Do you understand that? You're giving up your rights to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that the city attorney would call in support of the original charge against you. You're giving up your right to present evidence on your own behalf, including calling witnesses on your own behalf, and if your witnesses would not appear in court voluntarily, to have the court issue subpoenas for you free of charge, which could then be used by you to have your witnesses ordered to appear on the date of your trial. You're giving up your rights during the course of a trial to testify or to remain silent, and if it was your choice to remain silent, the fact that you did so could not and would not be used against you to establish your guilt. If at the end of the trial you were found guilty of the original failure to yield charge, you would have the right to appeal that decision to a higher court. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this reduced charge, you're giving up all of those trial and appeal related rights? Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this reduced charge against your will? Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea? Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today? Then to the added reduced charge of driving a vehicle with a defective headlight, a 1-point violation on April 3rd of 2021 here in Commerce City. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty? I will accept your guilty plea. I'll find it's knowing, intelligently, and voluntarily made with a full understanding of the rights being waived as well as the possible consequences. This looks like it's your first moving violation. Is that correct? How long have you been driving? I'm sorry, how long? 2 weeks? Okay, not a good start. All right, give me just a moment while I read the police report. All right. Is there anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you? Is there anything you want to tell me about your daughter that I should take into consideration?
Yes, she's a good student, 4.0. Honorable. I've never had this the first time she's ever had before.
Okay.
Um,
You have to at least say she's otherwise a good kid too. She's a good kid,
yes.
right? Okay.
Unfortunately, I did a whole year of training with her, so I'm pretty upset myself. She said that she did not see the vehicle, and she did yell at the yellow light. she didn't see the vehicle.
Well, it was coming right at her. All right.
Agreed.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people, even more experienced drivers, are having a hard time adapting to the flashing yellow turn light and not recognizing that they still have to yield to the vehicles coming straight. They're also having trouble with the roundabouts. Don't know why, they just do. All right.
I don't get it either. I was concerned with that too, that she mistook it for a yellow turning to red, thinking she had the right of way, but she said that she yielded. Why don't you tell me what you can?
I yielded, and then I saw the car speed up, and I waited and watched. And then I went, and then while I was going, I just saw there's another car.
Yeah, all I can tell you is when they're coming right at you, it's kind of hard, and they have the right of way, it's kind of hard to miss them unless you're allowing yourself to be distracted, like maybe looking back to the other car that was going straight or looking to the left to see if people were coming. I mean, I really don't have an answer. I wasn't there. All I can tell you is that as a new driver, you really have to focus on your driving. That's the key. Your goal when you're behind the wheel is to get to where you're going safely. You have no other goal. That's number one and only. When you're behind the wheel, whether it's for you or the people with you, your goal is to get to where you're going safely, not more quickly or anything else. Safely. That's the key. All right. The good news is, nobody was seriously injured as a result of this. Your scheduled fine in this case is $240. That's just the basic fine for the nature of this offense. I'm going to impose the $240. I have to give you an aggravated fine because of the collision itself, but I'm going to suspend 140 of it, more than half, because I am going to order that you do the alive at 25. When you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerks, they're going to work out the payment arrangements for the $100 fine that is not suspended, plus surcharges, plus court costs. They'll give you a referral to the class, and they'll give you a deadline of approximately 6 weeks within which to complete the class. It's really important that you contact them right away and get the class done as quickly as you can, because it's your responsibility to make sure that certificate of completion gets filed with my court before the deadline, on or before the deadline, okay? Make 2 copies of it. Give one to your dad. You know the insurance company is going to seize on this opportunity to raise your rates because she's a young driver and all of that. But if you send them proof that she's done the driving class, they might give you a discount. The other copy, hold on to, just in case you end up in front of DMV at some point for some reason. It's always good to have a copy that you've done a driving class when you go to DMV. So original for the court, copy for your insurance, copy for DMV just in case. And then hopefully this will be an educational experience and not too scary for you in terms of driving in the future. And just keep in mind, never be in a hurry when you're in the car, ever. If you're in a hurry, that's when bad things happen. If you're not in a hurry and you're just focusing on getting to where you're going safely, you won't see judges, you won't get in accidents, and everything will be good, okay? Do you have any questions, Nivea? Do you have any questions about what's expected of your daughter? All right, well, if you're all set, then just stop at the windows in the lobby, see my clerks, they'll take care of you. Thank you very much. Portia Mossman, if you would unmute your device.
Yes,
Could you state your full name for me, please?
Portia Mossman.
Okay. I have case number CM 299488. This looks like it's your first appearance. So this document alleges that on or about August 20th of 2020, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, from the area of 5990 Dahlia Street, that's the Walmart store located here in Commerce City, it's alleged that you committed the offense of theft. You understand what it is you're accused of doing?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The city attorney says that he reviewed the elements of the charge. In other words, he explained what he would have to prove in order for you to be found guilty of this charge to you. Did he go over those elements with you?
Oh, yes, Your Honor.
Okay. He also says that you wish to have the court appoint an attorney to represent you in this case. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, before I forget, the first thing I'm going to do is, since you've appeared today, I'm going to cancel the warrant that's out there for your arrest. The warrant's
Okay,
ordered,
thank you. I appreciate it.
the warrant is ordered vacated. On your next court date, there's going to be a $50 warrant fee that is going to be attached to all of the other conditions that may apply. So don't be surprised when you get a notice saying that you owe $50, okay?
Okay.
All right, now, I have a bunch of questions I need to ask you before I can appoint an attorney to represent you. The address that we have for you is on West Quincy Avenue. Is that still a good mailing address for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That looks like it's a house, is that correct?
It's an apartment, actually.
Okay, is there an apartment number?
Oh, yeah, it's 812.
Okay. Give me just a moment. Okay, the phone number that we have for you is the same one that you called in on, so that's good. First, let me ask, do you have any ownership interest in any real estate of any type? Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I actually have to back up a step. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony and evidence you provided the court today regarding your application for a court-appointed attorney will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so my first question is, do you have any ownership interest in any real estate of any type?
No, sir.
Okay. Are you single, married, separated, or divorced?
Single?
Okay. Do you have any children currently under the age of 18?
No, sir.
Are you currently employed in any way?
No, sir.
When was the last time you were employed?
I'd say about 4 months ago.
What kind of work did you do?
I'm a cleaner.
Okay. Are you currently collecting any type of unemployment compensation benefits?
No, sir. Not at the moment.
Okay. Do you own any automobiles?
Yes.
What year and what kind?
It's a 1999 Cadillac Escalade.
Okay. And are there any monthly payments owed on it?
No, sir.
Is that the only automobile you own?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any ownership interest in any financial transaction devices, savings bonds, treasury bonds, or retirement?
No, sir.
Are you currently receiving any type of public assistance, welfare, AFDC, anything like that?
Food stamps.
Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Are you receiving Social Security disability of any type?
No.
Are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces?
No, sir.
All right. So on this apartment on Quincy Avenue, how many adults live there?
Me and my mother.
All right. So she's helping you get by on a day-to-day basis?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find that you qualify for a court-appointed attorney. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you. You're going to schedule your case for a pretrial conference. When you leave the meeting, my clerks are going to reach out to you by email either later today or sometime tomorrow and give you the notice of the new court date. We're going to provide all of your information to the court-appointed attorney that I assigned to represent you in this case. And hopefully on your next court date, we're able to arrive at a resolution of your case. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Keep in mind that on your next court date, I'll probably see if you can pay the $50 at that time. So make sure that you start gathering that money, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any questions?
Nope.
All right, you can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, who?
Council Leon has two.
No.
These three are lawyers on Zoom.
Probably want to do one of those. before I do this.
Yeah, I don't know if Mr. Leon's ready or not. He's gonna call his client.
Okay,
It's
I'm gonna
just-
do this one. All right, court's on the record regarding Aiden Kinsman.
Yes.
Okay, I show an attorney for you.
Yes, that's me, Your Honor. Mark Andrews, registration number 39709.
All right, I do have your entry of appearance, Mr. Andrews. Give me just a moment.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, looks like the city attorney is simply dismissing this case. I need to pull the ticket up first, though.
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and enter the order of dismissal. My clerks will reach out to you, Mr. Andrews, provide a copy of the order of dismissal to you. The client is eligible to have the record of his case sealed. We'll need a petition to seal. I'll make a note on the file that it's eligible to be sealed once I receive that petition.
Okay.
The $65 filing fee would apply to this charge, okay?
Okay, Your Honor.
All right, so again, my clerks will get you the copy of the order of dismissal either later today or sometime tomorrow. Okay, is there
Thank you,
anything,
Your Honor.
is there anything else you think I need to address on this case?
No, just a quick question, Your Honor. In terms of sealing Mr. Kinsman's record, if the record's sealed, it wouldn't be accessible by anyone other than a judge in the future, right?
Right, and law enforcement in the future, in the event that it has some bearing on whatever current investigation they're doing. But they still have to come to me to get permission to open it for that purpose.
Okay, and then will your clerks provide us with the petition?
Yeah, when you get the email, you can certainly send it back and then they'll forward the petition to you.
Okay, thanks so much, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, thank you. You can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Okay.
I've already done these two. Then you give them back to me. I'm sorry about those falling off. Okay, on the record regarding Kasahun Akolom. Mr. Leon, if you would unmute your device, if you're ready for me.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Spiro Leon on behalf of Mr. Akalam. He is not present. I'm asking that you waive his appearance.
I'll waive his appearance pursuant to 167202. And Mr. Leon, could you go ahead and just give me your registration number again?
19856.
All right, I have a proposed disposition which indicates that if your client pleads guilty to the original charge of driving without proof of insurance, a 4-point violation on February 22nd of 2021 at 12:54 in the afternoon in the area of Highway 85 at Mill Road, which is approximate equivalent of 64th Avenue here in Commerce City, the city attorney will dismiss the remaining speeding charge against him. Is that your understanding of the proposed disposition?
Correct, it is.
Okay, and you're representing to the court that you have your client's authority to enter this plea on his behalf?
I am. I spoke with him by telephone, relayed the offer, advised him, and he authorized me to enter his guilty plea and into this disposition.
All right, so then on behalf of Mr. Akalam, with regard to the 4-point charge of driving without proof of insurance on February 22nd of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'll accept a guilty plea. Anything by way of mitigation on behalf of Mr. Akalam?
Your Honor, I think the lack of insurance was due to a mix-up. He did acquire insurance immediately afterwards. The prosecutor, I believe, confirmed it in the state system. So we'd ask that you take that into account and have the fine. Also, the speeding was not super egregious. He is a driver. He's providing for his family. I did have a talk with him about his driving habits and speeding and so forth, and I don't think he has a real problem with it.
No, he does not have any aggravation on his driving record. All right, Mr. Leon, you may not be aware, but in this court, what I've done is established a mandatory minimum fine of $100 for a first-time driving without proof of insurance charge. I trust you'll advise Mr. Akalam about what should happen to him if he picks up a second offense or a third offense within 5 years under the state law. This one is less than the state mandates. However, we're a home rule city, and I recognize the financial realities of our community. So I've established our baseline fine at $100 plus surcharges plus court costs. When you leave the meeting, my clerks will work out a stay of execution for you. They'll reach out to you by email, provide that stay of execution for you to be able to have time to notify your client. They'll tell you what the total is, and if he needs a payment plan, they'll make arrangements for that as well. Is there anything else I need to address on Mr. Akalam's case?
Sir, thank you. That's very accommodating and kind. Appreciate it. I'm sure he will.
Okay, if you have nothing further, then we're done on this case. Is this the only case you have with us this afternoon?
No, I'm also here on Negus Kase.
Okay, give me a moment. All right, on this one, I have a document that indicates that Negus Kase, or is Mr. Kase appearing, or are you waiving that appearance?
We'd ask that you waive his appearance also by rule.
All right, pursuant to 167202, I'll waive his appearance. The document I have says that if on his behalf you tender plea of guilty to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation, the original charge of speeding on March 24th of 2021 at 8:16 in the morning in the area of the 15900 block of East 96th Avenue here in Commerce City will be dismissed. In addition, Mr. Kase will be attending a level 1 driving class. Is that a correct statement of the proposed disposition?
It is correct, Your Honor.
And again, you're representing to the court, you have your client's authority to enter this plea on his behalf?
I do. Again, I talked to him by telephone, fully informed and advised him, and he authorized me to enter into this agreement and plea.
Give me just one moment. All right. Then to the added reduced charge of driving a defective vehicle, a 2-point violation on March 24th of 2021 here in Commerce City. On behalf of Mr. Kasay, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'll accept the guilty plea. Anything by way of mitigation?
Your Honor, my client is a driver. On this particular date, I think he was a bit out of sorts in his home country. They've had a lot of civil unrest. I believe a couple of his family members had passed away and he was a bit out of sorts, but I viewed the video and he did pass a couple of signs according to the officer that stopped him. He ultimately did slow down when he caught up to another car that was going slower and he realized that the speed had been reduced. So if you could take that into account, I don't believe he has any other violations within the last 24 months.
I only go back 12.
Oh, I mean, 12 months. I think he does in 24, correct.
Yeah. All right. And not only did he pass two signs at where he's at, he also passed the two yellow signs that warn you that you're approaching a slower speed limit zone. That's one of the things I insisted on when they adjusted the speed on 96, not just the 30-mile-an-hour signs, but those yellow diamond signs warning you that you're going into a slower speed zone. All right, his scheduled fine in this case isn't that bad. It's only $120. I'm going to impose the $120 fine. I'm going to suspend 80 of it because I'm going to order the level 1 driving class. All right. So what's going to happen, obviously, is my clerks will get in contact with you. They'll make arrangements for the payment of the $40 that is not suspended. They'll give a referral to the level 1 driving class. He'll have 6 weeks within which to complete the class, and it'll be his responsibility to provide that proof to my court by the deadline. They'll probably provide you a stay of execution on the payment of the fines and costs. So again, they'll work out the payment arrangements for the $40 plus surcharges and court costs, give you the referral to the level 1, give you the deadline on that. Is there anything else I need to address on this one, Mr. Leon?
Are you authorizing online class,
Yes.
and can you do it at ISAE?
Yeah, I'll authorize it being done at ISAE. Anything else?
That's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. You can go ahead and leave the meeting.
Okay.
Okay, Holly Poitra, if you would unmute your device, please.
Hello, this is Holly Poitra.
Okay, good afternoon.
Hi.
I have a document that alleges that on March 17th of 2021 at about 10:13 in the evening, from the area of 5990 Dahlia Street, that's the Walmart store located here in Commerce City, it's alleged that you committed the offense of theft. Do you understand what it is that you're accused of doing?
Yes, I do.
Ms. Poitra, I didn't hear your answer.
Yes, I do.
Okay, go ahead and leave your device unmuted.
I can't seem to figure out how to do that, so I
Okay,
have to
you're fine.
continue.
I can hear you perfectly now. Don't touch anything. Okay.
Okay.
The city attorney says that he reviewed the elements of the charge with you. In other words, explained what he would have to prove in order for you to be found guilty. Did he go over those elements with you?
We didn't talk about the elements specifically. He just asked me if I wanted to request a court-appointed attorney.
Well, he wrote on his notes to me that he went over the elements. So I'm
Yes,
over with you
I
now.
think I misunderstood your question. Yes, he did.
Okay, that's fine. He also said that you wish to have the court appoint an attorney to represent you in this case. Is that correct?
Yes, please.
All right. I'm going to be asking you a bunch of questions. But first, do you swear or affirm under penalty of law that the testimony and evidence you provide to the court today regarding your application for a court-appointed attorney will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Were you able to hear me?
Yes. Um, The address that I have for you is in Parker, apartment number 617. Is that information still correct?
No, that's no longer a current address.
Okay, I need your current address.
1235 Verbena Street, Denver 80220.
Okay, and is there a good phone number for you?
720-290-1314.
Okay. And this address on Verbena, that looks like a house address. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, do you have any ownership interest in that house?
No, it's my son's house.
Okay. And do you have any ownership interest in any real estate of any type?
May I ask why you asked the question?
To determine your financial eligibility to have a qualify for a court-appointed attorney.
Oh, I see. I didn't recognize the relevance. No, I don't. Not at this time. I don't have any home ownership.
Okay. Are you currently married, single, separated, or divorced?
I'm widowed.
Okay, that's not one on our list, but I'll add it. Okay, do you have any children under the age of 18 at this time?
No, my boys are.
All right. Are you currently employed in any type?
No, I'm not.
How long has it been since you've been unemployed?
8 months.
What kind of work did you do before then?
Executive administrative support for state and federal government.
Are you currently receiving any type of unemployment compensation benefits?
I have an unemployment claim that's in a uncertain status right now. So I have a claim that's active, but I'm not being paid on it at this time.
Okay, so as of today, the answer is you're not receiving any, correct?
Yes, that's true.
Okay, that's all I'm looking for. All right, do you own any automobiles?
Yes, I have a vehicle.
What year is it?
It's a 2002 Saturn.
Do you owe any money on it?
No, it's paid.
Is that the only automobile you own?
Yes,
Okay. Do you have any ownership interest in any financial transaction devices, meaning savings bonds, treasury bonds, or retirement accounts?
no, I don't.
Are you receiving any type of public assistance, welfare, AFDC, anything like that?
No, I'm not.
Are you receiving any type of Social Security or Social Security disability income?
No,
Are you receiving food stamps?
no.
All right. So is your son then helping provide for your daily subsistence?
Yes, he has.
How many adults live in your household?
There's 3 of us.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and find that you qualify for a court-appointed attorney. I'll appoint an attorney to represent you in this case. We're going to set your case for a pretrial conference. We'll provide your information, the contact information to the attorney so that hopefully they'll reach out to you before the next court date. And then see if we can resolve it at your next appearance. So when you leave the meeting, my clerks are going to contact you by email and they'll provide the next court date and time to you. Do you have any questions?
Just want to make sure I understand. I'll leave the meeting and then they will contact me with follow-up information.
Sure, either later today or sometime tomorrow, they'll send you an email with the new court date and time. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, you can go ahead and leave the meeting. Right. Hmm. Andrew Rawl, if you would unmute your device, please. Mr. Rawl, are you there? I don't show Andrew Rawl as on Zoom. I'm sorry.
Your Honor. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I managed to get into a breakout room on accident.
All right, that's fine. Give me a second now. Pull your matter back up. All right, Mr. Rawl, I have a document that alleges that on March 5th of 2021 at 10:33 in the morning, from the area of 5990 Dahlia Street, that's the Walmart store located here in Commerce City, it's alleged that you committed the offense of theft. Do you understand the charge against you?
Yes, I do.
All right, the city attorney indicates that he reviewed the elements of the charge with you. In other words, explained what he would have to prove in order for you to be found guilty of this charge. Did he go over those elements with you?
Yes, he did.
All right, he says that you wish to have a court appointed an attorney to represent you in this case. Is that correct?
Yes, that is, Your Honor.
Am I reading this correctly? He says that you are currently serving a community corrections sentence. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, well, technically you're in custody then. I don't have to go through the qualifications. I'll simply appoint an attorney to represent you. You recognize, of course, that if you're convicted of this charge, it could be the basis for which your community correction sentence is revoked and converted to a Department of Correction sentence. Do you understand that?
Yes, I'm aware of that. I was just, I wasn't sure how it would affect it with it. You know, like I understand.
Yeah,
If I-
that's not up to me. That would be up to the judge that imposed your community correction sentence. I'm just telling you that it could, okay?
Okay, okay.
All right, so we're gonna set your case over for a pretrial conference. I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you in this case. Question for you, are you currently a member of or a veteran of the United States Armed Forces?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and appoint the attorney. Now, when you signed in on an email address. My clerks are gonna reach out to you by email either today or tomorrow, giving you the notice of the new court date. We'll appoint an attorney to represent you. We'll give them your contact, him or her, your contact information. So hopefully they can address this. Let them know right away that you're serving a community correction sentence, because obviously they're gonna wanna reach out and find out what, if any, effect this case will have on your community correction status before resolving this case. And hopefully we can arrive at a resolution at your next appearance.
Okay.
Do you have any
And-
questions?
Yeah, just the contact information. So, you know, the both the address and the phone number would be for the Larimer County Community Corrections building. If you don't have that, I can find it really quick.
Is that the same that you used to sign in today with?
No, it is not.
Okay, go ahead and find out what that contact information is.
Okay, so the address is 2255 Midpoint Drive.
Okay,
It's in Fort Collins, Colorado, 80525.
okay. And is there an email address where you can receive emails?
Yes, it's AMRAWL.
Okay,
L is in Larry, 027.
okay. AMRAWL at,
Yeah, AMRAWL027 @gmail.com.
Okay.
Let me see. So, okay. And then the phone number,
Go ahead.
970
Mhm,
498
uh-huh.
7527.
970-498-7527.
Yes.
Okay. So again, my clerks will send a notice of the new court date. We'll provide your contact information to the attorney that I've appointed to represent you in this case. And like I said, hopefully we'll be able to get it all resolved. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, you can go ahead and leave the meeting. All right, Michael Olguin, if you will unmute your device.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, I have a request to set aside the default that entered when you failed to appear on February 25th. This is a traffic charge for speeding. And what I read is the reason I couldn't show up on that date was because I was told it would be mailed at the time. I was living with my family in Henderson. I waited the standard 21 days to get it, but never received anything. So after the 21 days, did you make any efforts to contact the court?
I didn't have any contact information. I didn't know which court exactly because I was only living there for a couple months,
Sure you
and
did.
it's like a complete
Wait.
new area.
Stop. Sure you did. You had the blue copy of the ticket.
Okay, and then
That
yeah,
had all the contact information on it. Did you lose it?
yeah, and that's my responsibility, and I did lose it.
Right. See, because again, if you waited and then tried to contact the court, we would have sent you the information by some alternative means. The address that we have for you is on Henderson, and it looks like the address matches up. The letter that was sent didn't come back. There really isn't anything that shows why you didn't respond to the ticket. Um, if you would have contacted us before April 25th, I wouldn't have any problem reopening the case. But we're now to, May 13th, and it's a done deal.
Yeah, yeah. Mostly what I'm looking for is see if there's anything I could do with the points. I have no problem paying the fees. I was just.
Yeah. It all kind of is lumped together.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm going to deny your request because it's untimely filed. Again, once it's beyond 60 days, like if you were in the hospital or if you had to serve National Guard duty and were gone, or you had to leave the state for a family emergency, something like that I would consider. But this one is basically you lost the ticket telling you what to do. You waited too long. I really don't have a basis to reopen the case. So when you leave the meeting, my clerks will get back with you, tell you how much you have to pay and all. The points are what they are. I don't deal with the points. My clerks, once you get everything paid off, then the block that's been put against your driver's license will be lifted. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, you can go ahead and leave the meeting. My clerks will reach out to you. Okay?
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Hello, who's on the Zoom ending with the phone number 010? Can you get your name, please? Hello?
They're not. It's phone number 720 ending in 010. Could you please state your name? All right, Holly Peltz, if you would unmute your device, please.
Hi, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm good. Give me just a moment.
Yeah, bath scratcher.
Okay, I'm assuming Ms. Peltz, you're the one in the kind of pinkish colored. Thank you for waving. All right. I have a document that indicates that you're pleading guilty to committing the offense of theft
Yes, sir.
on March 11th of 2021 at 12:43 in the afternoon from the area of 5990 Dahlia Street. That's the Walmart store located here in Commerce City. In exchange for pleading guilty to this charge, the city attorney will dismiss the trespass charge that is part of this disposition and is also asking that I not impose a direct jail sentence against you. Is this how you wish to resolve this case today?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Did you watch the advisement of rights video?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I'm going to go over some of those rights with you. First, do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this charge, you're waiving your right to be represented by an attorney in this case?
Yes.
You're also waiving your right to be presumed innocent of both of the original charges unless and until the city attorney is able to establish your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial, because by pleading guilty to this charge, you're waiving your right to have a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You're giving up your rights to confront and cross-examine any witnesses that the city attorney would call in support of the original charge against you. You're giving up your right to present evidence on your own behalf, including calling witnesses on your own behalf. And if your witnesses would not appear in court voluntarily, to have the court issue subpoenas for you free of charge, which could then be used by you to have your witnesses ordered to appear on the date of your trial. You're giving up your rights during the course of the trial to testify or to remain silent. And if it was your choice to remain silent, the fact that you did so could not and would not be used against you to establish your guilt. If at the end of the trial you were found guilty of the original charge, you would have the right to appeal that conviction to a higher court. Do you understand that if I accept your guilty plea to this charge, you're giving up all of those trial and appeal related rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to get you to plead guilty to this charge against your will?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone made any promise to you to get you to enter this guilty plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you currently under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medications that affect your ability to understand what you're doing in court today?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the charge of theft on March 11th of 2021 here in Commerce City, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I'll accept your guilty plea. I'll find it's knowing, intelligently, and voluntarily made with a full understanding of the rights being waived as well as the possible consequences. Give me just a moment, please.
Yes, sir. My problem.
I'm still trying to work my way through your Nevada history.
Your Honor, I have a question. Should I
Yes.
wait? Can I order online from Walmart? I don't want to get in trouble.
No, you can't do anything with Walmart.
All right, thank you. Clarification is good.
All right, let's see, what's this one? All right, yeah, the Aurora case is not a theft case, so we're good. All right, anything you want me to take into consideration before I impose the sentence against you?
I'm sorry, and I take full responsibility, and I want to be accountable for my actions. And oops, I'm not. Yeah, there's no excuse. I just shouldn't have been in there. Period.
Right. Yeah, you realize that you're barred from Walmart stores nationwide now.
Yes.
Okay, good. I want to make sure you understood that. Okay. And you're not employed, is that correct?
No, I'm on SSI.
All right.
Your Honor, sorry to interrupt. She did want to know if she could still shop online.
Yeah, I already answered that. Right. Okay, I'm going to waive all fines. There is $29 in court costs that I do have to assess against you. Listen carefully to how I'm imposing the following sentence. I am going to impose and suspend a 30-day jail sentence, all of it suspended, on the following conditions. I am going to order that you do 24 hours of use of public service. If you're staying at a shelter, you could actually do it at the shelter if they're a nonprofit shelter.
Cool.
If they're not, you can do it at any legitimate nonprofit agency. That's the only requirement that I make, is that it must be done at a legitimate nonprofit agency. You'll have a deadline within which to complete the community service. It'll be your responsibility to make sure that the community service form that we provide to you is filled out and turned in by the deadline. I'm ordering that you're never to return to the Walmart store. The one I have jurisdiction over is the one here in Commerce City, but looking at the report, you're banned nationwide from Sam's Club and Walmart's nationwide. So don't have any communication with those brands of stores. You're also ordered to commit no new law violations of any type other than routine traffic violations for a period of 1 year.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so my clerks will provide you by email the payment arrangements for the $29. They'll send you the community service form with a deadline, and then the rest is easy. Stay out of Walmart, stay out of trouble. You stay out of jail. Fail to follow my order in any way, I will have you arrested and taken to the Adams County Jail to serve 30 days of straight time. Do you have any questions?
No, thank you. I appreciate this opportunity to be in front of you.
Yeah, I can tell you that, again, looking at your history, it's not good, but at least in recent time and in Colorado, it's not that bad. So just make sure you stay out of trouble now that you're here, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Are there any questions that you have?
No.
All
Oh, so it's I can pay the $29 when I get paid at the end of the month?
Yeah.
And then the deadline, how will you know? How do I get it? What happens there now?
He's
Well,
gonna,
Oh, you're gonna email me a link?
when
or
you
a
signed up
form?
for this Zoom meeting, you provided an email address. My clerks will send the information about the court costs. There's no fine. The court costs and the community service, along with the deadline. They'll send it all to you by email, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
Okay, then you're free to leave the meeting.
Thank you.
thank you.
Have we ever figured out who zero? Let's try talking to him now. Whoever has a phone number that begins 720 and ends 010, could you please state your name? Hello, if you're on this Zoom call, please state your name. No, let me finish. I don't even. Ali Namin? Yeah, let's stop what you're doing and then come over here to station number 1, please. All right, I have a document that alleges that on April 6th of 2021, at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, in the area of 77th and Highway 2, that you engaged in speeding 74 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone and drove without proof of insurance. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing? And could I get you to take the sunglasses off the top of your head? No, not the mask. Put the mask back up. Right. You're in open court, okay? All right. Do you understand what it is you're accused of doing?
Yes, sir.
The city attorney says that you need some time to try to track down the proof of the insurance. Is that correct?
Yes, the card I have is the one that expired. I can bring the current.
Okay, that's fine. All right, we're going to reset your case out in approximately 30 days. When you go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerk, they'll give you a reminder notice of the new court date and time, okay? All right, go ahead and go to the window, see my clerk. All right, whosever phone number ends in 010, if you're able to hear me, but we're not able to hear you, hang up and just try calling in again. All right, go ahead and kick them out. Wait, maybe they're there.
What number was that again?
010, that's you. What's your name?
James Glover.
All right. We're going to send you to a breakout room. So don't do anything for right now. There'll be
Okay.
somebody with you in just a moment.
All righty.
It looks like he hung up, or did you send him? Okay. The 210 person?
Three, yeah, but he only filled out one motion. So, I don't know what you want to do.
Adan Tarango, is that you? Just stay there. Is that your mom? No, señora, ¿me puedes oír? Ok, me avisan que no hablas suficiente inglés para poder ayudar a tu hijo a resolver este caso sin la ayuda de un intérprete. ¿Es verdad? Ok, necesitas the seeds here no. Gracias. No tenemos un intérprete aquí hoy. La próxima cita que vamos a tener un intérprete va a ser el miércoles de la semana que viene. ¿Puedes regresar en ese día? Oh, June 9. Va a ser el día 9 de junio. ¿Puedes regresar en ese día? ¿Qué te conviene mejor, en la mañana o en la tarde? Ok, lo vamos a poner por las 1 de la tarde en ese día, ¿ok? Ok, si vas a la ventanilla que está en el paseo, mis ayudantes te van a dar una noticia sobre esta cita nueva, ¿ok? Ok. And that guy that just walked out, oh no, he's going. He needed to go to the windows too. All right. And for the record, I was advised the defendant's mother doesn't speak sufficient English to be able to resolve this case without the assistance of an interpreter. I asked her if that was correct. She indicated it was. I advised her we did not have an interpreter available on today's date. We would need to reset her case. I asked her if she could come back on June 9th. She indicated she could. I asked her what was more convenient, morning or afternoon. She said afternoon. I told her we would reset her son's case for June 9th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon when we have a Spanish interpreter available. Invited her to go to the windows in the lobby to see my clerk to get a reminder notice of the new court date and time. Oh, see, every once in a while.
No, there's three. There's an EM one and two CM ones.
So there's 2 written ones and 1 electronic. The only one I'm showing on the docket is the written one.
Yeah, that was the only one Krista had him do the motion on. That's why he said. I don't know why she didn't tell him all 3 of them. I just noticed that he put in the Thursday too. He's in the motion. Okay. Yeah, that's why I didn't put him in the Thursday too, because I only got 1 motion. I didn't put his other pieces in the mix, so.
Do we have any juveniles signed up yet for the 3?
No, I just got 1 down.
God, it seems like it's later than it is.
David Curry. He's not on the- I'm not going to do it. I'll try another motion. They're not, they. I think are calling in and they're just sending them the link. Is that a motion you just made? Yeah.
An EM529.
Okay.
Can you tell me what the date of the default was? And it looks like PM 302127. That also was defaulted on February 17th.
Looks like February 17th. Yeah.
All right, he's still in the room, he's on the phone. So I don't know if you want to transport him. So he says,
Mr. Glover, this is Judge Juarez. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're going to begin with case number CM302127. This is a ticket you got on January 4th of 2021 in the area of 106th and Highway 2 here in Commerce City. You failed to appear on February 17th of 2021, and so I defaulted you on the charge of driving without evidence of insurance and speeding. On the no proof of insurance charge, I imposed a fine of $100. On the speeding charge, I imposed a fine of $120. Surcharges and court costs were added. There's a request to set aside the default. It says that on it, in essence, that the police officer used your old address, so you never got the notice of when to appear in court. The address that we have for you is on South 18th Avenue in Brighton. Are you saying that that's what your old address was?
That was an old address that I haven't lived there in about 2 years, going on 3.
Okay. When you signed for this ticket, or did you not notice that they were using your old address on it?
I had told the officer that the correct address was on the registration that he had.
All right. The vehicle registration isn't what they go by. It's your driver's license. Did you have the corrected address on the back of your driver's license?
No, I do not.
Okay. In any event, when you got a blue copy of the ticket, it told you if you didn't receive the notice within 21 days, you were supposed to call the court to get the notice of the court date. It appears you never did that. Is that correct?
Correct. I totally forgot all about it.
All right. Yeah, that happens. Unfortunately, the default also happens. In terms of the speeding charge, I wouldn't be able to grant your request anyway. The deadline for moving to set that aside expired on April 17th. However, on the no proof of insurance charge, I could reopen that case, and I still can, but in order to do so, you have to have proof that your vehicle was insured on January 4th of 2021. Are you able to secure that proof? This is for a Jeep, a 2006 Jeep?
Correct. I'll have to talk to my insurance company so I can get that document.
Right. If you do that, I'm going to let you file another motion as it relates to the no proof of insurance charge. But right now, I'm going to deny the motion entirely in case number 302127, but I will make a note that you are eligible to reapply to set aside the default on the no proof of insurance charge in the future, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so hold on for just a second while I take care of this one. All right, so I just made the note that if you're able to come up with proof that on January 4th of 2021, the Jeep was properly insured, I'll consider the new motion to set aside the default as to that charge only. Now, the second case I have is it says 282839. I'm assuming that's a CM. Okay, yeah, here it is. This is a CM 282839. This is a speeding ticket you had on November 15th of 2018. This one's untimely. I lost jurisdiction on this case a long time ago. So the clerk may have mentioned that to you. I can't reopen that one.
Okay.
Wait a second.
And that was back when?
This was back in 2018. I defaulted you in January 2019. That might be what Kristen can set this one. There's no way I could grab it. Okay, so that takes care of that one. And let's see. And I need to look up this last one. Hold on, this last one is the most recent one. Okay, case number EM, as in Edward Mary 529, is a speeding ticket you got on January 5th of 2021. And let's see what happened on this one. Oh, yeah, February 17th, I defaulted you for failure to appear. And again, this one's too late as well. All right, yeah, so there really isn't anything I can do on the speeding tickets because you waited too long to try to reopen these cases. So the only one that you could reopen is now the no proof of insurance one from January 4th of 2021. So if you can find out that vehicle was insured on that date and time, go ahead and refile as to that charge and I can reopen the case, okay?
Okay, now you're saying, now, is that for both or is that just for on the 4th?
Okay, you have 3 tickets. 2 of them you're too late on because the only charges that they have are speeding charges. On the one that has the no proof of insurance charge, on January 4th of 2021, it also has a no proof of insurance. The no proof of insurance charge is different than speeding charges. I can reopen no proof of insurance charges for up to 1 year after the default enters if the person demonstrates that they were insured on the date of the offense.
Okay.
But you don't have that proof
So
today.
that's,
So you need to get the proof.
okay, so that's, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all I was going to say is get the proof and then refile a request to set aside the default. Provide us the proof that you had insurance on that date and I can reopen that case.
Okay.
All right, any questions?
No, that should be it.
Okay. All right, then you can go ahead and leave the meeting. My clerks will email you with how much you have to pay in terms of fines and costs on all of the cases. And they'll tell you that, you know, you can refile on the no proof of insurance case once you have proof that it was insured. So you can go ahead and leave.
All right, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Yes, he'll be right with you
Just-
in the office over there.
Just have a seat over on that side somewhere and you'll be fine. When we get news of the change in spacing and masking, we need to redo the court, but probably not next week. Next week, leave it the way it is, and then I'll deal with the following.